Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. Today we will be discuss about the qualitative research methods with the main topic of discuss groups. Together with me, Carils Joyce Vicente, Melhart Roa, and yours truly, Fabrics G. Honorse. But before that, let us talk about first or guide questions. First, what is method? Second, when should it be used? Third, what do I need to consider? Fourth, how should it be used? Fifth, what is the output? Lastly, how should it be analyzed? And now let us define what is discussion group and what is the method of discussion group. So, it is defined as the discussion group, also known as the focus groups, or an example of a technique imported into a social research from market research. They have been widely used in political circles to road test policies. As an explanation, discussion group consists of a number of individuals you invited to discuss their views in a particular topic, typically involving between 6 and 12 people, which is conducted specifically to get group of people's views on a subject. Groups can be constructed in order to attempt recreate demographics. Another topic is that when should it be used the discussion group? Discussion group are best applied when enriched in-depth material from a number of people is required. Being part of a group often creates a more relaxed atmosphere than one-to-one interview. As an explanation, information gathered from discussion group is often more varied than if a participant had been interviewed on a one-to-one basis. Another advantage for this discussion groups as opposed one-on-one interviews is that they provide in-depth information from a number of individuals simultaneously in making a time as an effective method of gathering data.
Good day everyone, I am Carol Joyce B. Vicente and I'm here to continue the report about the discussion group. So what do we need to consider in discussion group? In practical issues, discussion groups usually last 1 hour or so and include between 6 to 12 participants. And that participant recruitment is very important and can be done through a range of methods that includes the client contact list, existing networks and databases, advertising in appropriate public places and via the media, and hanging around places asking people to join in. So here are the two things that we need to consider. Decide on the makeup of the groups and arrange a location. In the first part, decide on the makeup of the groups. We must identify the key groups and individuals that you need to speak to depending on what you need to find out, or identify the individuals you need to contact. You can do this as you may know of people directly or you may require the assistance of others. Second, arrange a location. Ideally, the discussion group should be held in a location that is familiar to the participants, as this familiarity reduces the anxiety of the participant. So the questions that we must consider in the discussion group are the types of questions that could be asked during a discussion group can be similar to interview questions such as fact-finding, idea-generating, exploratory, and experiential. So the facilitation. The focus group facilitation is a very specific skill. Groups are notoriously susceptible to dynamics and be quite difficult to control. Consequently, if your requirements or parameters are very tightly defined, then a focus group may be inappropriate. So here are 5 facts about the facilitation of the discussion group. First, in preparing for the discussion, it is worthwhile having a short list of questions, ideas, and thoughts on the topic. The list could be useful in starting the discussion and ensuring it flows continuously. Second, ask relevant and open questions so that the discussion has breadth. Third, encourage group interaction and participation. Fourth, pursue, capture, and develop emerging issues. As a good facilitator should spot issues that are emerging in the discussion and try to get the group to discuss them in more detail. And lastly, try to ensure that the discussion remains focused on the key themes or issues.
For continuation about the group discussion, recording the discussion can be done either through the use of tape recorder or by taking notes. Tape recording the discussion is useful in ensuring that there is no crucial points are missed or skipped. and enables the facilitator to focus on guiding the discussion rather than taking notes. However, to use tape recording in the group discussion, you will need a good or high quality tape recorder. And if you have this high quality tape recorder, you may acquire the accuracy from the audio to have long lasting recording time, extended battery life, and storage capacity on the tape recorder. Having a note taker sit in on the discussion is an excellent alternative if there is a problem with the tape recorder during the group discussion. Next, how should we use the discussion groups? The discussion groups are used when seeking the views, perceptions, and opinions of people in an open forum. They are often used when more in-depth information is required than that which can be gained from a questionnaire. When compared to interviews, they can be used when confidentiality is not an issue, and some participants are more likely to participate in a group setting than one-on-one. They can be often used to explore more in-depth issues emerging from other types of research like interviews and survey. So now, what is the output of the discussion group? The discussion group produced qualitative data about thoughts, views, opinions, and experience. So, how should it be analyzed? Use the information from interviews to identify the relevant themes that emerge from the discussion to put into your evaluation report. There are also statistical packages that you can use to analyze this type of data, including DUDIS, which stands for Non-Numerical Unstructured Data Indexing, Searching, and Theorizing. It is a qualitative data analysis package which enables non-statistical information from interviews, group work, observation, etc. to be analyzed according to chosen criteria. For example, it is possible to use the package to pull out all materials relating to keywords and phrases. If recorded, you may not need to transcribe the whole discussion, but just make relevant notes from the tape. This will enable you to code directly from the discussion within your evaluation report, remembering to adhere to any issues of confidentiality. So now here are the list of pros and cons of the discussion group. So let's go for the pros in the discussion group. So number one, you can select and recruit group members. Number two, you can control the topic. And lastly, number three, the interaction between participants may prompt to new insights. Of course, interaction is crucial for doing the group discussion. So let's move on to the cons of the discussion group. So number one, lack of interest in group could make recruitment difficult. Number two, participants don't have much to say or some participants dominate discussion. And lastly, number three, may be unsuitable for researching sensitive issues. So now in conclusion, discussion groups are a great way to generate new ideas like their opinions, thoughts, experience from a specific group. The data they collected from this discussion group can help to determine a solution to a particular issue or problem. And in this strategy, it can be successful by having a cooperation from the participant in this group discussion. So now, for the further reading, let us read the Moderating Focus Group. The National Centre for Social Research provides training courses in moderating or facilitating discussion groups. And lastly, facilitating workshop. Practical tips for workshop facilitator, Seed for Change. And thank you for listening to our report, and that's all. Thank you.